Hello guys, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss as to how we can create dynamic columns into an internal table based on I'm not going to discuss any conditions or anything like that in this session. You can actually use this concept and you can just, if there is any requirement in your particular project, you can just make use of this. Okay, so this actually helps you to generate the dynamic columns. Okay, the dynamic columns in the sense you can create some kind of additional columns. Okay, an internal table will have a fixed number of columns, right? So with this you can generate some more columns in addition to the standard columns which an internal table has. So without wasting time, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to declare my types as TAI_VBAK, and I'll have Veblen as the first field, first column, and erdat, type erdat, and I'll also have ernab. Okay, so I have declared my types. Now with this types I have a internal table. I have an internal table which is called IT_VBAK. So what I'm going to show you here is this internal table will now have fixed number of columns, right? 3 columns it will have, but I'm going to make use of the RTTS classes in order to generate dynamic columns. Okay, an extra column, maybe I want to add one more column called column 1. You might be asking me like, why can't I add it here? That is possible. That is kind of, it is not at runtime which you're generating, right? If you want to add columns, you can add it here, but this is not our requirement. Basically, at runtime you have to generate some dynamic columns, some columns which this structure doesn't have. Okay, so that is the requirement. So somewhere down the program you might require something like that. Based on certain conditions, you might want to generate it like that. Okay, so it all depends on the kind of requirement which you have in your project. So I'm not going to necessarily describe those conditions and those scenarios here. It's just that you need to understand this concept of how to use RTTS in order to achieve this dynamic generation. Okay, so I have these types here. So first thing what I'll do is I'll use CL ABAP table descriptor, and I'll say describe by data. Okay, CL ABAP table descriptor has a describe by data static method, okay, into which you can put the internal table name. Okay, so it will return you something of the type CL ABAP type descriptor, but I don't want that. I want it to be of type CL ABAP table descriptor. I'll tell you why I'm doing that. Okay, so for that I will also request you here to actually go back, watch my previous video on this, because I have explained something better in there regarding how you can use this downcasting and upcasting regarding these RTTS classes. So maybe you should check it out if you haven't already. Okay, so I'm going to declare O table type ref to CL ABAP table descriptor. Okay, so now this will return you of type CL ABAP type descriptor. So, and that will be like a superclass object it will return, but I don't want that. I want of type O table. So for that I'll do downcasting. Okay, so I have done a downcasting, okay, from a superclass to a subclass object. Okay, the references are being passed. Okay, so now why I did this was, why I wanted the reference of table descriptor was because in O table you will find a method which is called get table line type. Okay, and so basically this is the method, and it will return you a line type of this table. Okay, a line type it will return you. So for that, what I'll do is I'll just go and check the what it is going to return you. and you're going to see that it will return your data descriptor type. So again, I'll have to do a downcasting because I want O structure. I want to put it into CL ABAP struct descriptor. Okay. So there should be a downcasting because why? Because it is going for type. It is going to return you of type data descriptor, right? So I need to do a downcasting. You can check out my previous video if you did not understand how this is happening, because I would have explained it there actually. If you have any concerns regarding this, you can just put it in the comment section. So I'm just explaining step by step here as to how you can achieve this dynamic generation of columns. Okay, so first we have found the table type. Then with that table, we are going to get the line type. Okay, and why I did this casting, this particular casting, was because in OStruct I have a method called get components. Okay, get components. So what this is going to do, this method is going to do is I'm going to do an inline declaration here. I'll say p underscore table or something, table underscore comp. So this is basically going to give you back, return you all the components, all the fields of this, all the fields of this particular structure. Okay, you have a structure, right? For this tv underscore vbak, you'll have a structure, and this method is going to return you all these fields, and I'll store it in p underscore table underscore comp. So in order to let me stop at this point, and I'll just show you what's happening in the debug mode. Okay, I've activated this, execute this. Okay, now I'm in the debugger, and in p underscore table underscore comp, I'll check the value here. So now you can see this will get give you back all the names of all the fields, and also the types of all these fields. What are the type? What is the type of this WebLen? What is the type of this? And it's an object reference. So in order for us to create a new element here, we have to provide a name and also the type. So that is what I'm going to do now. So here, what I'll do is I need an additional field, right? So I will, I'll create a work area for this underscore comp, like line of. Actually, you should not use like line, but yeah, in order to make things simple, I am just using this like line of, yeah. And I have this. Okay, so now I'll say underscore comp. What are the two fields? Name is one of the fields, and what is the other one? It would be type, right? Okay, so these two fields have to be filled. So let me add a field called column1 or something. Okay, now I'll just show you how to create one field, one dynamic field. There might be some conditions, like if something is happening, then you generate this, else you can put column2. Okay, like that you can based on your requirement, you can achieve this kind of dynamic generation. Okay, so now I will say this as column1, and in here in the type, what you have to do is I am going to use the element descriptor. Okay, in element descriptor I will choose okay, I think it's not LMA descriptor, it is L descriptor. Let me check if there is any method. Yeah, so I have something called get char. So my this column1 I am going to create as character type, and what I'll do is I'll also want to specify the length of this. So I'll say character length, let it be 10. Okay, so I'm going to create a character column or field, and it should have type of 10. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll append this table back to IT underscore, not IT, I've defined it as P underscore. So I have appended this here. All right. So after appending, what we will actually do here is, now again I have to generate the structure, right? Now I have generate a new structure. For that, what I'll do is, I'll say O and I'll say CL ABAP struct descriptor, okay, and I'll say create, and to this create I'll pass this P underscore table underscore comp. Okay, I am passing the component because I have added this, right? So I'm passing this and creating a new structure. So I'll define this as data o struct underscore new. Okay, so new structure I have created, and then I'm also going to create o table underscore new. I'm going to create a new table type based on this. So that should be CL ABAP table descriptor, and then I'll use create. This one I have explained in the previous video session. So if you haven't watched, please go back and watch this part 1 of this. Okay. So, and here I'll provide o struct underscore new. Okay. This value you're going to provide it here. Basically, it's very simple, right? That is how I want to explain to people, because I want to keep everything simple. Yeah, so now you have the table created. Okay, table type created. Now you will use data. Okay, I'll say create data, right? I'm going to create data, and I'll say ref underscore final underscore table type handle, and then I'll mention this o table underscore new. All right, so this one I have to define. I'll define it here. I'll say data type ref to data. Okay, I've defined it there, and I'm using it here, right? And I'll say type handle. Okay, I think it got removed. O table underscore new. Let me check the syntax. I am not sure if something got removed. Okay, so this is how I'm going to generate this, and then finally what I'll do, I'll assign ref underscore final underscore table. I'll dereference it to a the field symbol. Okay, I'll also define the field symbol here. Field symbols fs underscore table type any table. Okay, any table I am creating, and I'll just check the syntax now. Syntactically correct. Activate the program. And yes, I'll just show you from this position, I guess. Yeah. So in the previously when we were in the debug mode, we just saw the components. Okay, so now I'm going to create a new component with the name, not the new component, basically the new column, which will get added to the components. Okay, so here I have p underscore table. How many? Now I have 3. Okay, now I'll have 4. Just observe it here, 4. So and then I'm creating o structure new. Okay, and then o table new, and based on this table type I'm going to create reference variable. Okay, you can see 4 columns, right? So the 4th column got added up. Okay, you can see here 4 columns. After num, I've added 1 column, that too dynamically at runtime, right? Not directly going and adding it here. I didn't do that. I've generated it dynamically, and then finally I'll assign it to a field symbol. You can see here, right? Column 1. And now if I'll also tell you. Yeah, so this is what. So in order for us to, create some 100, I want to generate 100 columns after that. It's not a valid requirement, but maybe I'll just try to do that. Okay. I want to generate some 100 columns. Okay. Now we are just generated one column, right? So in order to generate 100 columns after that, what I'll do is I'll do it like this. Okay. Column, and I'll say psi index. So this will basically every time the loop is running, it will append the psi index of this do loop, and it will get added here along with call value. Okay, activate. In the breakpoint, let me check it here. So how many columns does this have? Now it has 103 columns. Why? Because I've added 100 columns along with those 3 columns, right? So you can see all these columns. Okay, you can see columns till 103. 100 columns got added after that, those 3 existing columns, right? So that's it for this video, and hope you liked this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you will subscribe, and please do not forget to like and comment also, because that actually helps me. And yeah, I just feel like making more and more videos because when I see people are watching it, I would want to make more and more videos. So yeah, so that's it for this session, and see you in the next. So thank you, bye bye, take care.